Alright, get your popcorn for this one. I got two things I want to share, and one of it is centered around BG web sharing. Simply put, I feel like we all should cut our losses. If there's an opportunity to get some of the funds that are seized, then tap into the recovery plan video that shows you things that we can do to possibly get, some of the funds that were seized. I say possibly because I'm not sure. But cut your losses because the writing is on the wall. I know many of you been seeing it from afar. You saw it. We're slow. We should have been new. I get all that, but we fell victim to it, and as a result, we saw it as some light at the end of the tunnel for certain things, certain people, etc. And that's that. But now here we are, fast forward, and some people are still buying into, pay the 12% and doing things to figure out if they can get a withdrawal. I've yet to find anybody who's been able to get a withdrawal. I haven't been able to get a withdrawal. I've been submitting for a withdrawal without paying the 12% just to see, but I haven't seen or known of anybody to get a withdrawal. They didn't pay the dividend pay that they would typically pay on the 9th, 19th, 29th, things of that nature. So, all of the trust in anything that could have been associated with BG web sharing is gone, even if you still believe that there's a possibility for BG to recover. I personally don't, so it's just on to the next, which is assets, skill sets, and access. That's that. Now, I gotta share some BS that came from whoever, the professor or the Elena is, it's all, I don't even know what to call them, but Elena and professor, what they sent to, my brother from another mother in terms of getting access to the funds that he's trying to get access to. Now, granted, he actually did submit an image showing that he paid the 12%. And he was supposed to have gotten his funds by now, according to what they said. But take a look at this. And then after that, I'm going to share with you a company that people have been pitching to me. They've been pitching this company to me. And I was like, it sound good, all of that. But fresh off of BG, I'm not that type. I don't know if y'all thought I was the one that just would share or document my journey on something, give people the option to enroll, and then, if that didn't work, I'm on to the next thing, pitching the next thing. No. My loyalty ain't wired like that. I don't just skip around, hop around, and that's not how I move. So when BG Wealth Sharing broke the conviction that I had with the things that have taken place, and then I started diving even deeper, I felt some type of way. Not from a saddened type of way, but just like, hold on. I fell victim to what I thought had potential that could be a godsend to certain people, and I said that verbatim in certain videos. However, when I see the writing on the wall that, okay, it's a wrap, no R&B, I gotta make sure that I move totally different. Moving totally different from me don't mean jumping into another company. For most people, or many people, they're like, okay, this is gone, okay, I'm just going to the next thing. So we can push that. We're not waiting, we're getting in position. That's not how I operate. Some people do. I get it. I get why you do it, but that's not how I operate. For me, I'm like, okay, if I like the concept of trading, I know copy trading is a real thing, and I like the concept of daily compounding money, I just gotta learn the game. I gotta learn how I can get whatever percentage daily I can average on a regular basis consistently without it being tied to something that I don't have the details on. So I am in the process of learning trading. I'm paying attention to certain videos. I'm trying to find one simple strategy, not 100, not 50, not 10, not 5. I'm trying to find one simple strategy that I can repeat and that gives me a good win rate, preferably 80% or more. But if it's a little less, then I'm cool with that as well, as long as it's something I can do predictably and get good at mastering one thing, because I want to simplify it. So many people complicate or overcomplicate and make you learn all of these different candles, and not that those things aren't relevant, but for me and what I'm doing, I want to learn one thing, because I feel like many of you are tapping into me and you might be in the same place. You're open to learning trading, but it seemed like another language, to the point where you were kind of deterred from the thought of learning trading. But what if you could figure out a simple way to do it and something that you can repeat and get decent results. That's what I'm looking for from a knowledge-based standpoint, so I can apply it and then just share my journey of learning that. And some people might learn from that. I don't know what's gonna come from it. That's to be continued. I can't predict what will come from that, but that's part of the journey. Then also sharing certain assets that you may want to accumulate that I feel can give a strong rate of return in this thing that I'm calling surviving BG wealth sharing. So those are the things. And then access to something that could also help give you some type of passive income flow without it being tied to money being made off of other people. Not that I'm against network marketing. Money comes from people. That's the source. We are the source. So money coming from people is not a bad thing if it's done correctly and strategically. But I'm staying away from that because I don't want it to have any residue or scent associated with what we all fell victim to in BG wealth sharing. So those are the angles that I'm taking. However, this company, and I said all that to say this company has been shared with me multiple times by multiple people. I seen it being pushed and promoted. I seen a lot of people gravitate towards it from BG wealth sharing. I chose not to, and I'm standing on it. But what I did do was a quick version of due diligence using AI. I think I used Gemini instead of ChatGPT on this one. And I was like, hey, these are some things, let me know if you think it got scam potential, yada, yada. So I'm gonna share that information with you and you do what you wish with that information. But if I was you, I wouldn't partake in it. And if you are already in it, I would consider, quitting while you're ahead, just because I feel like it can end like BG. Will a lot of people make money? Possibly. Will a lot of people who start, sooner than later make a certain amount of money, and then if it ends up turning into a BG and it's shut down, now they at least are profitable? Possibly. Do you want to go down that journey? That's on you. Do I? No. Simply put. So I'm gonna show you the BS that came from Elena and Professor, but then I'm gonna get into the due diligence of the company that I said people have been sharing with me. Let's get to it. All right, first thing first, so let's get into the BS that came from Elena and the Professor. Now, I decided as soon as I ended that video that the part about me talking about the company that people have joined and, why you may want to steer clear, I'm going to do that as a second separate video. So I'm going to release another video today. So that means like this video right now. As you watch this, keep your eye out for the next video I release, and I'm gonna just make that video all about that. So that way this video isn't too long and I can make sure that when I title it, that it's separate from this. That being said, I won't be going over it in this video. I made that executive decision as soon as I finish the other video because I don't want the video to be too lengthy. But this is the message that my buddy got from Elena. He said, got this from Elena in reference to the 12% reimbursement or withdrawal. She said, in quotes, due to the temporary incomplete restoration of withdrawal channels, all withdrawal approvals in the near term will continue to be more strict and slower than usual. We appreciate your understanding and patience while waiting for your transactions to be processed. Now, initially, what was being said is the 12% will help a person get their withdrawals sooner than later. So people start paying it, people start submitting it, people start, questioning if they should, wondering. I said I wasn't. It didn't make sense because they called it a tax on unrealized gains. Didn't make sense to me from the beginning, so I knew something was fishy from the beginning. But now she's saying it's going to be more strict and slower. So that's kind of proof that, they're not trying to let go of any funds. They're just trying to collect more funds because, as I showed in the other video, a lot of the funds have been frozen. I regret to inform you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I wasn't the bearer of bad news. I just realized it and just started documenting and sharing that as well. So that's her story in terms of the withdrawals. And she said, we appreciate your understanding and patience while waiting for your, well, that ain't why they paid the 12%. People weren't paying to be patient. They were paying to expedite. That's what that fee is, what was told to be, and that's what they thought it was going to be. But hey, that smells like, that's the second level of bamboozlement. Now, this came from the Professor. So one came yesterday. This one came today from the Professor based on when he sent it to me. And then this is what he said, in quotes. What many people may not realize is that building an entirely new withdrawal system is far from simple. System deployment, technical security, financial verification, and international payment integration all require significant manpower, time, and financial resources. Because of this, DSJX has proposed that each account contribute a minimum of 1,000 USD as a security deposit and infrastructure fee to help relaunch the new withdrawal system. I'm still here. I just had to pause on that one. Now, to a degree, I get when certain people pay the 12%, to a degree. But if you fall down this rabbit hole, if they sent this out to people and people are paying this, I haven't been tapped into the groups like that, but if people fall for this, I don't know what to say. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I gotta repeat that again, because I know y'all gotta be just as in awe as me. You gotta be. Because of this, the DSJX has proposed that each account contribute a minimum of 1,000 USD as a security deposit and infrastructure fee to help relaunch the new withdrawal system. I'm gonna keep going. Even so, I still stand on everyone's side. From the very beginning, BG's philosophy has always been about protecting stable returns for every investor. I also understand that many new members have not yet truly made profits or even completed their first withdrawal. Asking everyone to pay another 1,000 USD deposit is not a small amount for many ordinary families, and some simply can't afford it. Therefore, in my opinion, the current proposal from DSJX is not entirely reasonable. That is why I'm still continuing negotiations with them, hoping to secure a more practical and suitable solution for everyone under the current circumstances. So they're saying they want people to pay $1,000, even if they haven't got their own withdrawal or they're new and they understand that it's not ordinary. But this is the key you got to catch. And this is something that, hindsight 2020. This professor or whomever is acting as though the professor and the DSJX are separate entities. And it's like, hey, I'm negotiating with them. It's they doing, not me. That's throw rocks, hide your hand type mentality. That's acting like it ain't you mentality. That's like, hey, it's them, not me. I want to stay clean, stay clear. But they're doing this. It's the exchange. Acting separate. So they're like, hold on, it's the exchange that's doing it, not the professor. No. One and the same. So you got to, read between the lines on certain things. But this right here, my friend, is the BS that I had to share. I gotta know your thoughts below. I ain't gonna speak on it. I already said enough to let you know where I'm at. Stay on the lookout for the next video where I go over the details of, what people have been sharing with me as a business that I feel you should steer clear from. And, that's just my perspective, because you need to be getting in the mindset of developing skill sets, acquiring assets, and getting and maintaining access. That's all I got. Mr. Smith, signing out. Salute.